Matthew Stymie Beard. He played the quick-witted con artist who acted like he didn't have a care in the world, who joined the Our Gang comedy in 1930 and signed a 5-year contract.
What's the matter with him? Worms. Worms? Brother, he'd be a great guy to take this in.
If the gang had a problem, Stymie was the one to figure a way out of it. One thing that made Stymie stand out, his trademark derby hat. Not something that was worn often by a child, Stymie pulled it off in style. But where did he get that hat? A gift from Stan Laurel from Laurel and Hardy. After Stymie's contract was up, he was replaced with another character, Buckwheat. So where did Stymie Beard go after? He would go on to smaller roles, including the films Captain Blood as a 10-year-old and Jezebel as a 13-year-old. Now, at the age of 15, he was looking for work, and he appeared in the film The Return of Frank Jones. Roles were becoming much harder for Stymie to find. The cuteness goes away, and it's hard to reinvent yourself at that stage. Two Gunmen and the movie Broken Strings were two of the final movies he appeared in before he retired from acting as a late teen. Something we've all seen with children actors who couldn't adjust to life as adults: drug use. In his late teens, Stymie Beard got into marijuana, and it got so bad he wound up stealing to pay for his habit. Unfortunately, Beard would end up getting arrested for stealing and spent some time in jail. Things only got worse from there. Upon his release, he developed a heroin addiction and was in and out of jail for years. In Stymie's early 40s, he checked himself into a drug rehabilitation facility in Los Angeles and was able to end his addiction to heroin. That might possibly have been the toughest thing he's ever had to do, but it was the start of better things to come. Red Fox, who was a good friend of Beard, was able to get him a few episodes on his hit show, Sanford and Son.
Otis, man.
Meet Otis. Meet Fred Sanford.
Hi, Fred. I thought you said that's what it would cost in the store.
What do you think I'm running here, a taco stand?
A comeback was on the rise with other shows come a-calling. Emergency and The Jeffersons had parts for Beard, but Good Times had a reoccurring role for him as Monty.
Amount of your rent money.
All right.
$104.50.
Well, Monty, that's wonderful. Did you hear that, Florida? My friend Monty has saved the day.
In Hollywood, you can be at the top of the world, then at the bottom of the barrel.
Guess it ain't quite like heaven after all.
Beard had been at both, but unlike many who had fallen down the same path, Beard was able to climb out of the bottom of that barrel. Beard would go on to share his experiences and help others to avoid the path he had taken. He traveled all across the United States preaching of the dangers of drugs and what they can lead to.
Get thee behind me, Satan, and don't push.
In 1980, Beard would again appear in a Red Fox show, Sanford. He made a cameo of himself alongside Sammy Davis Jr. Less than a year later, Beard would sadly suffer a stroke, and just 2 days after his 56th birthday. The location and the timing of the stroke resulted in Beard falling from the stairs and suffering a head injury. On January 8th, he passed away from pneumonia.
Just about like Mammy say heaven is, I reckon.
Matthew Stymie Beard was one of a kind, becoming a star at the age of 5, and was in a show that is cherished by millions and still relevant today, over 100 years later. But to disappear for over 30 years and then resurrect onto Hollywood scene again, it shows the talent, desire, and sheer willpower of a man behind the warm smile. Thank you, Mr. Beard, for all the joys and laughs.